So I'm at a location I haven't actually checked out before, but I thought I would, as you can guess, there have been historical sightings nearby. So I'm going to show you what might be some old scratch marks on a tree here. Okay, we're going to look at some potential scratch marks here. They are old. So first of all, you have that one certainly there at the 4.5 centimetre mark. And if we move here, we've got these marks as well. I'll put the ruler there so you can get an idea of size. And we come down here as well. And we continue to come down the trunk of the tree, sorry. Not the tree of the trunk. Fine marks there. And that's a rake of 4 there. Now if we go down here, there are some marks there. 20mm apart. I've actually found claw marks in trees before where the scratches are 20mm apart. So you can see there are some kind of fine lines around here on this tree. Let's turn it that way now. A few more down there. Again, we'll put the ruler in so you can see scale. So I think that's all that's on that side. But I'll show you what else I found. So that's the marks I found on the bare part of the tree. Now a lot of it's covered in moss. So I wondered if I'd find anything if I removed some of the moss, and I have. So I'll show you that now. And here we have these marks as well. Hang on, if I put the ruler around like that, there we go. That one's there. But I'm not seeing anything more further down, so I think that's it there. Well, that's quite an interesting one. Now if you watch Luna the Panther on YouTube, if you look at some of her videos, maybe it's in the shorts, possibly, if you watch how she claws at a pine tree and then think if you applied that here you might have the same effect. But now that's not the antlers from a roe deer or anything like that, because they lightly scrape with their antlers sort of back and forth. They don't dig, as we can see here. So it's something worth thinking about. Now I've just come along about another 30-40 metres and I've found what could potentially be scratch marks as well. So we'll have a look at these. I forgot to add that the scratch marks on the other tree, they went up to 1.25 metres. So in fact we'll measure these ones and see if they're similar. They are. So there we are. Start having a look at these. Quite interesting. Again, they're old, if they are what we're looking for. In fact, you can see fine lines there. So it's not a split in the bark, I don't think. It's more like a very sharp instrument has cut in. So looking good so far. Okay, so it starts at 1.4 metres there. That comes down. So there's a ruler in front there so you can see the spacing on everything. And we can come down here. And we seem to... Now, I still think that is probably a claw mark. Certainly these anyway. but they're old. How old, I don't know. I've not got a way of figuring that out. So that's the type of terrain we're walking on. Not easy for finding prints or even impressions. So all I can do is watch if there's any bare bits of mud. And the few that I have found, I'm seeing deer prints anyway. Stuff. Okay, we've got something else interesting here. I'll show you where it's most interesting to me is right there. That's a good rake of claws there. 4 claws have come right across there. Yeah, I think so.